Hi, guys. Good morning or good afternoon, and welcome to Chakra Sessions. I'm your host, Polly Jo Labbe. I'm here as part of Star Nation's radio network, being broadcast on BeLive TV. So today is the beginning of October. I can't believe it's October 2nd already. And fall here in New England is trying to creep in. It's classic New England. Some days it's cold, some days it's hot. But in the end, it feels like the shifting is happening for us. So let's see. Hello. Hi, Robin. Welcome to the show. Glad you are with us today. Today, we're going to talk about our soul chakras, and that is not something that gets discussed very often. They are the chakras that are connected to our higher self. And when we learn about them and we begin to understand ways that we are meant to bring them into our current life and the ways we are meant to sort of integrate that energy, become a little more connected and in relationship with our higher self, the more our personal life and everything really becomes a little bit easier. So I'm really excited to be sharing this with you guys today. Hi, Lindsay. So happy to see you're in the house. It's always such a nice thing when there's people to chat with. It makes it easier on this end. You don't feel like you're just speaking into your camera or your computer, however you see it. So one of the things I want to talk about just right off the bat is, for those of you who don't already know, I am going to be teaching at Star Nations Academy this weekend. And the schedule is, been modified. So if you can only do part of a day or a whole day rather than the whole weekend, we've actually set it up so you can do that. My spiritual team worked really hard to segment the energy healing work that we'll be doing so that you can do it in a bite-sized piece if that fits for you. So on Friday night, from 7 to 9, we are doing, kind of a meet and greet, kind of feeling the energy of the room, but we're going to do a healing meditation, similar to what we do here or on Soul Connections, but it's in person and it's only for the people in the room. And then I will do private readings for people. And how cool is that? And that is only $25 to attend. So if you're in the area, or you want to bring a friend, like come and hang out with us, because we would love that. And then Saturday is set up into 2 segments. From 9 to noon, we are doing essential chakras. So I'll be doing some chakra work, but I will also be doing like how the essential oils can help you heal yourself around your chakra issues. And just show you what emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual things can be stored in your chakras. So you can start to begin to empower yourself to start to heal yourself. So this is always a really cool class. And then you also get to do a chakra balance meditation. And this meditation is different than what I do online. And you can use it for the rest of your life. So, that class is all by itself. Then we take a nice 1.5-hour lunch break for those of us who are there for the day, because we need some grounding and we need some food. And in the afternoon from 1:30 to 5, we're going to be awakening your heart energy. So we're really going to be tapping into any of the issues that might be held in there, any disappointment, sadness, grief, shame that may be blocking you from being who you truly are. And we do not only some experiential things with partners, but we do we start to learn some hands-on healing that you can use on yourself. but that you can also share with others. And then Sunday, we're all about awakening your true potential. So that we have a segment from 9 to noon again, and one from 1:30 to 5. And that is set up so that we really dive into those big rooted things that have been blocking you, those obstacles that you've had that have been keeping you from really stepping into who you're supposed to be. Well, I guess it's not supposed to be, but how you are meant to be here to heal the planet, because we each have our own purpose and our own reason for being here. So the whole kit and caboodle, the two and a half days is only $222 for Star Nations. And we did a live broadcast last night, Neshi and I, on the Star Nations radio network page and on Star Nations Academy. And it has all the details in there. But my students can tell you that a weekend with me is normally over $700. And I do not do this. I don't ever teach this separately. My spiritual team was very clear that this work needed to start at Star Nations in a particular way, and to facilitate even more of our amazing writers and show guests to really step up into their gifts and share them with you as well through teaching at the Academy. So I'm really excited for that. There's still space, and if you want to do one segment or you want to do the whole thing, you're welcome to. And I'm also available for doing discounted healings for people on those days. So if you are a member of Star Nations Academy, I'm doing healings for $100 for an hour, which is lower than my going rate. So it's all there for you guys. So that's the sort of nitty gritty that I'm getting out of the way. Hello, Ellen. I'm glad you're here. And Neshi, nice to see you. I just got started about telling them about this weekend. So as like the last piece of like bookkeeping kind of stuff, if you guys could like and share this broadcast and really get it out there, because I'm sure there's somebody out there who could really benefit from the information that we're sharing and for the meditation that we're about to do. So if you could do that, that would be great. If you want to wait until after the broadcast is over, that's fine too, because, you know, people can watch. It's recorded as soon as we're doing it. So it's ready to go right away. So nice to see the other Lindsay, Lindsay 1 and Lindsay 2. Nice to see you. All right. So our soul chakras are ones that we carry with us. And we carry with us from lifetime to lifetime. And they basically hold the knowledge and the information that allow us to continue on our soul lessons. Because we're here to learn things. We're here to learn how to master different types of energy and situations, and to resolve things with people. And so those lessons are stored in our higher self, in our soul chakras. And so when we begin to work on some of that in more depth, let me say, you can begin to call in your soul energy, not just your survival energy, to help you move forward on your spiritual tasks that you're here for. Thank you, Neshi. She posted the link. That's the link for the class at Star Nations Academy. So it's starnations.org/Star Nations Academy. So yeah, if you guys, are all interested, or somebody who, would really benefit. As I said, I don't do these weekend classes. This is really kind of unheard of for me. So take advantage while it's there if you are able to. Even if it's just like for part of one of the days, you'll get a ton out of the experience. So our soul chakras are, they each have their own sort of purpose. They each hold a vibration that helps us move forward on our soul's journey. And so the first one we're going to talk about is it allows it's sort of like the root chakra of your soul. And it is there as it represents a physical manifestation of your soul's work. Like, how are you going to do your soul's work in this physical body that we're in? So we have like imagine that you have an outline of like the steps that you are meant to take, or the tasks that you're meant to complete, and that's located in the physical life purpose chakra. And that chakra is, like I said, it's the root of your soul chakras. It's like the root of your higher self to a degree. And when we're able to access that chakra, it works really beautifully with our first chakra and our second chakra. So the three of them kind of team up, and they create flow. They create a foundation that's even sturdier for us to walk our path with. So you can see how, just tapping into that energy a little bit could be really helpful, because then you're not trying to do it just from your survival self, but from that higher place where we all sort of long to be. And some of us tap into it on a more regular basis, but it's really that thing that's calling you, that really is pushing you to move forward. Then the second soul chakra is what people often refer to as your soul seed. And really what that is, it's the center of your being. And so that center of your being, ideally, it begins to work with your third chakra or your ego body. So you understand that, our survival self is like concerned with like just surviving and moving forward. And then our higher self understands that there's a purpose, not just living, that we're here to do. And so when they can learn to team up and work together, then again, all of a sudden, cool things happen, and we access that like lightly when we access our inner intuition, our inner knowing. But the part of us that is really, has a sense of the fullness of the universe and the impact that just little old us is going to make if we step into our task, that it tries to guide us in that direction. And then the third soul chakra that we're going to talk about is the high heart. My team refers to it as the transcendental heart, but it's the heart that can, when it's active in your body, it sits right above your heart. And it has that, again, it has a sense of oneness with everyone and the universe. And when that hooks up and teams up with your own sweet, natural, loving, caring self, there's just so much more giving, and there's so much more sharing, and there's so much more impact that you can make from this heart-centered place. And we all know people who are, good at that. They really tap into their heart, and you just feel taken care of and seen and heard, because they lovingly listen, and they lovingly, are there to offer advice, or tap into their intuition, to give you a sense of what's going on from their soul's perspective. And that can be a really cool thing as well. And then the fourth soul chakra, a lot of people like to refer to it as the aha point, or that zeal point. And that is the part of you that brings in those aha moments. When that light bulb goes off and all of a sudden you have the answer. When your higher self is connected to not only your third eye, your intuition, but also to your throat, so you can actually speak it and take action on it. That's that light bulb going off. That's that aha point. And it's three of those working together as a team. And so when we can tap into that, we can have instantaneous messages and receive things from our spiritual team in a fuller and more complete way. So it's not just a ding, you got it, but also ding, I got it, and now I know how to move forward really rapidly. So that is a fabulous one to have working for you. And then there is what we call our inner light point. And that is in between your third eye and your crown when it is active, because those three will work together. And that inner light point is the part of you that understands your soul's mission. You know, not how you are meant to do something, but who you are meant to be. And who you are meant to be allows any doing to occur, because it's all about the being. And part of our lesson is to remember who we are. And sometimes that happens from discovering who we're not. But lots of times that this is a really sense of clarity, you know, like I have clarity that I'm here to heal the healers, so that they can step into their life purpose. That is my mission. It is really clear. It's almost engraved in my forehead. And so I do whatever I can to support that healing for you, because we need you all to shine your light. And if you aren't able to do that, then somebody is out there in the dark, and that always, you know, kind of hurts my heart. So teaching you and helping you and empowering you to step forward into your light is really crucial. So I saw a couple of things that came up. So Lindsay said, although this is about the higher self chakras, can what you eat, exercise, help with balancing the primary chakras in the physical body? I meant to ask you last school weekend because I was so surprised that mine were relatively balanced. Shocked because I feel I really don't necessarily have my life together. So nice question, my dear. I'm assuming you're talking about having your aura photographed. Your aura photographs, for those of you who've had that is a snapshot of your chakras on the physical realm. It is not necessarily how your chakras appear on your emotional realm or how the mental realm is affecting your chakras and their balance. And it's not at all indicative of how your spirit is working on your chakras. So physically, you may be fine. You know, you are you're young. So, you know, your body can take a lot more than somebody my age, my generation. But when you eat, you are absolutely right. How you eat, how you exercise, how you do self-care, all of that impacts how balanced your chakras are. Your 7 primary chakras are. And if those aren't doing their best to sort of stay in sync and stay in balance, well, then you can't even connect to your higher soul chakras or to your higher self. It's really difficult when you are spinning for you to actually get that inner knowing to come in and for you to receive that. And remember that our chakras fluctuate in every breath that we take. Every thought that we have will shift our chakras. And maybe, you just eaten, you were excited, you were happy, you're, starting to make new friends. Maybe that was enough to put your chakras in balance, right? And had we taken your picture on Sunday, after we did the exercise in the morning, and you had some aha clearing, maybe your chakras would have looked a little more wobbly. So very good question. Every now and then, I get a shooting pain going up into my aha chakra. Curious on what this would mean. So great question. When we have pain anywhere, even if it's just a zap of pain in our physical body, it's letting us know that the energy isn't flowing in that particular area very easily. The zaps are kind of like energetic poke, saying there's not enough flow in there for what's trying to come in. And it's all about bringing that into balance, into sync with your physical body. So yeah, you may get zaps from now and again in those places where they're going to, our body is meant to work with them together. So the life purpose chakra is going to be in between the first and second chakra. So it would be a little bit above the pubic bone, kind of at the low end of where the uterus would be if you're a woman. The soul seed would be literally right next to, it's a little below. It sort of holds up the third chakra. So it'd be above the belly button, but below the solar plexus. So sometimes you can feel two different energies there when you're in tune. The high heart is right in the middle of the chest, a little below the collarbone. And the aha point is right behind your head, like right at the base of the skull. And we all, those of us who get migraines and it gets stuck there, that's part of it. That energy isn't flowing. It's getting zapped and it's getting caught there. So it ends up squeezing our third eye and trying to make the third eye open more so that the other one can open more. Just a side note. And then the one that is our soul mission, it's toward the top of the head. It's really rare that I've heard anybody have any zapping there. But sometimes people talk about fuzzy. They're fuzzy headed. They're having trouble seeing or sensing clearly. And that can be the third eye and the inner light point having a little bit of difficulty. So I hope that answers. Lindsay June says, yes, it's like I'm getting electrocuted. Oh, yes. That's exactly, it's giving you shock treatment. Because sometimes we don't respond to the gentle nudges that the universe has been sending us about taking care of these chakras as well. So when we aren't connected to them, they're kind of like zinging, electrocuting us, zapping us to be like, hello, we could use some energy flow in here. It also happens, Lindsay June, when you aren't in your body, wink, wink. Because when you're not in your body, those chakras can't align. So when I'm talking about not being in your body, it means when you're ungrounded, when you have shifted your focus outside of yourself, and so energetically your chakras kind of like lift up. They're not exactly lined up appropriately. So imagine your root chakra ending up more in your belly button. So then literally, you might have awkwardness walking, you may be, trip over things. Yeah, that type of thing might happen when you've kind of slid out a little bit. And if you slide out quite a bit, then when your ego brain gets really close to your intuition, it can really muck things up. You get spinning in all these what ifs and could be's, and you are so out of the present moment that you can't see what's right in front of you. So I hope this is starting to help you guys. So when we are able to use some of those chakras, not even if we don't use all of them, we're giving ourselves a little bit of extra juice. We've got a little more energy flow. And when that energy is flowing, it allows us to take action in our life in a different way. So we stop being concerned about survival things like, money and house and car and relationships, and we're more in the how do I serve myself and how do I access the deepest happiness that I can have. Because really, this is all about bringing love and joy fully into your life all the time. And, we all have things that are going to shake us from that. It's not like, that's part of the human experience. But part of our lesson here is to remember, call back how we bring out our joy. And lots of times we get so busy doing that we forget how to just be. And when we do that, we have stepped kind of away from why we're here. And we all have a reason to be here. So that's the really cool thing. And we can do our life purpose in 100 million different ways. So, for me to heal the healers, it literally, I could be a nurse, I could be a doctor, I could be healing on that realm. I could be a therapist. I could be a personal trainer because I could be healing their physical things and helping them to release stress. I could be doing the work that I do. I could be a writer. I could be, I was a dance teacher, and I was teaching my students how to feel with their soul. So when they were dancing, they were learning how to, it wasn't about the steps. I mean, the steps were great. It was a great foundation. But once they reached a certain age, kind of middle school age, when they started to become really self-aware, it was like, okay, now that you're in there, like, how do we let you shine? Like, what makes you light up? What allows us to see what you're feeling and who you're being? And so I was healing them and giving them permission to let their soul out. And then, can you imagine that these kids who studied with me for years until they graduated, they'd been practicing how to be themselves and to let their soul out, for about 8 years of their life. So what's really cool is the students who studied with me through till graduation, every single one is in some sort of caring field. I have people who are teachers and who are nurses and who work with special ed kids and who are therapists, and the list goes on, and so they learned how to see somebody else's soul too. And so, then it became clear that it was time for me to work with the grown-ups, work with the adults, because we've long forgotten that if we ever got to do that to begin with. And I'm happy to say I have a number of dance students of mine who are now teaching other children the same thing. So I feel like my work has gone forward in a huge variety of ways. I have at least a dozen students who are out there teaching dance across the country. So you can do your mission in any old way possible. I was even doing my mission when I was in college and working retail and helping people find clothes that they felt good in, that made them sparkle and shine, and that they that fit right, because then they felt good and they glowed, right? I mean, my hairdresser, and I'm sure you guys have this too. It's like you feel really good afterwards, um, and it's nice when people notice. And so it's that way of being in service. So I've rambled a bit away from things or back around to things. It's always interesting where the channeling is going to go. So when we do this meditation, what we're going to do first is really quickly balance our chakras. Now, we normally go very in detail releasing, but we're going to do a very quick chakra balance. And then we're going to invite our soul chakras to come in and just connect for a moment. And when they come in and connect for a moment, just being able to hold on to the muscle memory of what it feels like when they're in and they connect, so that we can go back to it when we want to. And when we sit in our quiet and meditation or doing our own healing work, we can take the time to kind of call that energy in, and really be in sync with it. So I hope that makes sense. So if you have any questions, this would be a great time for you to type them in before we do the meditation. Oops. I hope you can still hear me. Not sure what's happened. I'm really uncertain why it's not showing. So guys, if you could type in, if you could hear me, that would be great. I'm not sure where because my camera is working in a different setting. I'm not sure why it's not working here, and so I'm not really sure how to change that. All right, it's saying I may have to reload the page. So I'm going to try that. Okay. All right, now I can see me. Kind of weird. It went totally black, you know, like that movement. So let me take that down. Down. So sorry about that, guys. I'm glad you guys could still see me. It's the weirdest thing. It was completely black. So it was a little unnerving. So I'm sorry about that. Thanks for the message, Nashi. So in terms of the soul chakras, we're going to balance our chakras first, and then we'll call the soul chakras in and allow them to connect and give you a chance to see that, experience that, and have a reference point for you to check back to. All right. So, so sorry about that little disruption. That was interesting. So get yourself nice and comfortable. Yeah. Oh, and I'm going to make clearing noises as we go, as I usually do. That allows the energy for the group to just release, and you don't have to hold on to it any longer. And then I'm not holding it in my physical body as well. So we're going to start by calling in the divine energy, however you perceive that, however you connect to that. And we're going to call in whether you connect to God or Goddess, Creator, oneness, all that is. Just really open up and allow yourself to take this moment of connection and ask the divine energy to surround and protect you in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light, so that you can feel like you're in a sacred container, even larger than the sacred container that I've created for us as a group. Yeah. And we set the intention that all healing is for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves. Yeah. And then inviting your spiritual team, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, all divine, of the highest and fullest and brightest vibration available to you in this moment. Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to start today by balancing our first chakra. So we're actually going to focus down on the first chakra near our tailbone. And so we're going to ask the divine energy to help us to fill our first chakra with that beautiful bright red color and a allowing it to be in this round orb, spinning gently in our body.
Yeah.
And if you're able, just visualize the brightest, fullest red that you can imagine.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And allowing that to strongly root you in connection with the earth.
Yeah.
Imagine the cords going down and wrapping around something really sturdy, like a rock or a dinosaur bone or a crystal, whatever works for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we're going to move up to our second chakra, just below our belly button, and call in the beautiful orange, bright orange color for the second chakra. And asking the divine energy to fill with this orange and allow it to be a beautiful round orb, spinning gently,
Yeah.
lovingly in our body.
Uh, uh,
And again, visualize the brightest orange that you can. And now move to the third chakra, to that beautiful golden yellow color. And again, we want to bring in the brightest yellow, like an amazing sunshine,
yeah.
to fill our own personal sun. Releasing any specks or dots or energy that is keeping the yellow from being bright and full.
Yeah. Yeah.
And imagining it being perfectly round orb shape,
Yeah.
spinning gently
Yeah.
in our body.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And now moving up to the heart and envisioning that beautiful green color, and seeing the fullness of that.
Yeah.
And how round it is, that our beautiful orb filled with love.
Yeah. Yeah.
And deepening and brightening that green color
Yeah.
of that Kelly green that we see St. Patrick's Day
Yeah.
or in the grass.
God. 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 God.
Mm. to let go there.
Yeah.
And now moving into our throat and that beautiful blue color. Whatever color blue you can imagine. For me, mine is sort of a sapphire blue color, royal blue. I'm just allowing it to fill fully and completely,
Yeah.
and to be round, that beautiful orb, and just spinning gently as well,
Yeah.
so that we are filled with movement.
Yeah. Got it.
And moving to the third eye, in the middle of the forehead, and connecting with this chakra. And generally, this chakra is a shade of purple, a really deep blue, but generally in the purples.
Yeah.
And just seeing that fill and expand and gently
Yeah.
spin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now accessing the crown above the head and feeling that golden white color, filling the orb, making sure that it is completely round and spinning gently.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Got it.
And now we're going to call on our higher self, and we're going to ask to gently connect to all of our soul chakras. So we're just going to imagine that energy sliding down from our crown, down through our body, moving its way all the way down to the root. And now accessing that physical life purpose point, that spot between your first and second chakra. And I often perceive this as kind of that terracotta color, that mix of the red and the orange together.
Yeah.
And we're just going to ask that our physical life purpose take a moment to connect to our first chakra and our second chakra, so that we can experience and feel how they work together beautifully and seamlessly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And now we're going to ask our soul seed and our ego to connect for just a moment, to work together as a team, so that we can feel and sense the presence of our higher self when we are making decisions, kind of like a built-in second opinion when we need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And gently explaining to our ego that it's not going to disappear or lose itself. It's going to be enhanced so that it can actually be even more than it's ever imagined.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Not do more than it's ever imagined, be more.
Yeah.
And now we're going to connect our higher heart with our actual heart and really allow them to come together to work as a team. And I experience the high heart as a beautiful fuchsia color. And so the fuchsia and the green coming together just for a moment, almost like the yin and the yang, except in green and pink.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then moving up to our aha point between the throat and the third eye, and asking them to connect as a team. And I experience the aha point as a sort of teal color, that greenish, bluish color.
Yeah.
And just allowing those points of inspiration to be able to be expressed quickly and easily, and perceiving them more fully and more completely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now connecting that inner light point, our soul mission, with our crown and our third eye, and allowing that to really become clear intuitively, really divinely connected. And I experience this point as a really, really light purple, almost lavender, but very white.
Yeah.
And now just aligning your hara line or that crystalline tube so that all of the chakras are in the same sacred container. And this can happen in more than one dimension. So if you're feeling any tightness or restriction, then simply breathe and ask it to open up dimensionally so that you're not restricted to the third dimension, but maybe it feels more comfortable in the fourth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, energetically, just take a moment to hold on to this sensation of this feeling of balance and connection so that you can remember it when you need to.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And then we're going to gently begin to return back into this room, releasing any extra energy down into the ground that we don't need. You just might want to stretch or wiggle your fingers or your toes or rub your feet on the floor, yawn, whatever you need.
Yeah.
Thanks. So that's just a snapshot of how your energy can integrate. And it'll stay within you as long as you are willing, able to hold it. And that's okay. It's there ready to access. It doesn't go anywhere. It just sometimes kind of, it's more like a coat hanging in the closet rather than you have it on to keep you warm. So this is a way to really align with your mission. And people get very caught in stuck energy. And that's part of what this weekend is all about. Are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling like things are happening to you and not for you? Do you have, you know, um, anything that you would like to shift in your life? Maybe you're just bored with your life the way it has been, and you would like some change in a positive direction. And that's what this whole weekend coming up at Star Nations Academy is all about. And so we will do, this type of thing, but really in depth and really going at those things that might be blocking you. One of the biggest things often for people to clear is the energy of having been persecuted for being themselves in another lifetime, or for using their spiritual gifts in another lifetime. And so they're actually allowing that to run their decisions in their life now. And then for other people, they have an old trauma that they've handed away all their power to the person who traumatized them, and they can't move out of the past. And so what would happen if you were able to release that and be now? We've all had things happen to us in our past, but when we allow them to take over and control who we are and how we be, then we haven't learned from it. We haven't moved out of that sense of being a victim. And trust me, if those of you who read my article last month, I have had a lot of victim energy in the past, and I remember the angst of being stuck in it and thinking there was no way out, and that I was going to have to live with it. And then found this pathway for healing, and I've helped so many people work their way through and out, to where it's just a page in your notebook of things that have happened, and it makes you stronger and more resilient and more able to help others when you have come out of the fire yourself. So I hope you guys got what you needed to out of the meditation. Thanks for dealing with my kind of lack of seeing my own self. I'll have to tap into my spiritual team and see what that was about, that you guys could all see me, but I was completely blacked out on this end, because there's a message for me just as much as there's a message for you, which is so cool when we do this kind of work. So for those of you who watch me online and that's how we connect, remember tomorrow evening is Soul Connections, and at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till about 8:30, basically until we get done. But that is a chance for you to connect to your soul and you to heal whatever you need to in your life. You get to set whatever intention on whatever you need to clear. And I'm just a conduit. I'm a guide who helps move the energy for the entire group. So I am just helping you as you're doing your releasing. And then afterwards, I pull cards for messages. And I will be broadcasting tomorrow. from a slightly different location because I'm going to fly out to Star Nation. It's really bright and squirrely on on a Thursday morning, so I'm getting myself next to the airport so that I can actually get as much sleep as I can before I head out. So I will be broadcasting from there. But I look forward to it. Look forward to seeing you guys, and hope some of you will join us at Star Nations because how cool is it when we all do the work together? Because it radiates 7 generations forward and 7 generations backward. So by you taking care of you, you're helping 14 generations of people. 14 generations. Feel the ripple of that. Just doing your own work. And then if, when we do classes in person, there are many, many times where we tap into a past life as well. And you hail 14 generations connected to the past life as well as the 14 generations. That's 28 generations of people. Can you just picture how big that energy could really be or ricochet to help other people? So if you have the opportunity, I'd love to see you in person because it would be so great. But if not, I will see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Oh, thank you, Neshi. I hope this was helpful for you guys as well. And if you liked it, please like and share it because I don't think that this information is all that readily available. I had a really hard time finding it myself and connecting to it. My spiritual team was really clear on it, but finding it in a written form or anything just wasn't happening for me. Oh, Mary Ellen, you are so welcome. So with that, you guys, have a fabulous rest of your day, and I hope to see you here tomorrow at 7. Bye, guys.